Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, in the studio on a Thursday morning. Yesterday, baseball started for two teams. Now, most of the league gets to start, but not everyone today.
That's exactly right. The game last night was a standalone game done for television purposes. Now, I do not have Netflix on my system, so I didn't see it, but the TV coverage got panned pretty good by the critics. That's beside the point. Yankees win it by a score of 7-0. Max Fried absolutely overwhelming on the hill. 6 1/3 innings of shutout baseball. 2 hits, 4 strikeouts. This guy and the Yankees are pretty doggone good. New York 7, San Francisco 0. Now the Cardinals open up today. They're taking on the Tampa Bay Rays. This is really, Mike, one of the earliest starts in Major League Baseball history, but the way the calendar runs, the Rays are going to send Drew Rasmussen to the hill, and he's a one-time standout All-America at Oregon State back around 2016, 2017, somewhere around there. He's been with the Rays since 2021. This is Drew Rasmussen. Matt Liberatore gets to start for the Cardinals. He was 8-12 last year with a 4.21 ERA. That's a very good earned run average for a team that really wasn't very good. And the interesting fact about this is Liberatore is the former number 1 draft choice of Tampa Bay. And they traded him over to the Cardinals in 2020, I guess it was. But regardless of that, it's Liberatore versus Rasmussen. That is the opening game in St. Louis. The Royals open tomorrow night, and they'll be playing in Atlanta.
So that roster move, a little interesting, wouldn't you say?
It really is. Now, the Cardinals have penciled in, and really it's solid, J.J. Weatherholt's going to get the start at second base. But that puts the Cardinals at 41 players on the roster. Wait a minute, you only have 40. So what are they doing? Well, they've made a roster change, and the roster change is Lars Nootbaar. He has been placed on the 60-day, that's 60-day disabled list. He underwent double heel surgery during the offseason, and while he is still recovering, it's going to be a while. But being placed on the 60-day injured list means that he won't be eligible to play until, at the very earliest, late May, and he may not be ready then. Nootbaar is the one on the disabled list. Weatherholt plays, and he'll be starting at second base today. So a little roster shuffling, and then when Lars Nootbaar does become eligible, then another roster move will have to be made.
We've got Missouri State Bears in action. Are they on the road?
They are on the road. They're down in Texas. They'll be playing Dallas Baptist over the years in the Missouri Valley Conference. Missouri State and Dallas Baptist, arch rivals, and they pretty much split their series when they played. Well, Dallas Baptist is in Conference USA for this year, and then they're out of it. The Bears are in Conference USA for the first time, and who knows how long they're going to be there. But Dallas Baptist is going to the new Pac-12 conference. Anyway, it's a 3-game series. Starts tomorrow night down in Dallas, Saturday afternoon, Sunday afternoon. Dallas Baptist is pretty good. They may not be quite as strong as they have been in the past. The Bears are hitting the ball all over the lot. See what happens this weekend.
Of course, we've got baseball kicking off for the Cardinals today, but we also have the NCAA tournament getting back together and starting their next rounds of playoff competition. Where is that tonight?
This is the Sweet 16, and it is a 2-day count. Well, it's today and tomorrow. And then Saturday, Sunday is when they wrap up the teams. And by this time next week, we'll know who the Final Four teams are, of course. And those Final Four teams will be playing against each other, and we'll get down to the national championship. Anyway, there are 2 locales tonight, 2 more tomorrow night. Out in San Jose, do you know the way to San Jose? Well, these teams do. Purdue will play Texas, and that's at 6:10 our time, Central Time. Purdue Boilermakers and the Texas Longhorns, and that'll be tonight. That game will be followed by what should be an absolute dandy, and that is Arkansas against Arizona. Arizona's number 1 team in America. That game should start around 8:45. Those games are in San Jose, California. Houston, Texas is where the other games are, at the Toyota Center, which is the home court for the Houston Rockets of the NBA. Nebraska plays Iowa at 6:30. And then shortly after at 9 o'clock, Illinois plays Houston. Anyway, that's the doubleheader there, and 2 more games to follow tomorrow.
You know, the host cities typically change every year, and they've been, St. Louis gets them, and, Kansas City's gotten them, et cetera, et cetera. How often does a team get to play in their home city?
Never. And the last I looked, Houston was in Texas. The city was in Texas. The university's in Texas. And the game is in Houston, and Houston's playing. This one deserves some investigation. Now, the way they're getting around it, first of all, Missouri played their NCAA game in St. Louis, which was frowned upon a little bit, but it didn't matter because Missouri lost anyway to Miami. This one is in the city of Houston. Well, the way they're getting around it is it's not Houston's home court. It's the Houston Rockets' home court. And it is a grand total of 3 miles away from the campus. 3 miles, that is all. All right, that lends itself to being a home court advantage right there. But 3 miles away, hey, that's from where we are on Cherry and Barnes to, Mercy Hospital? Somewhere around there. That's all it is. All right, secondly, there is a host university. The host university is not Houston University, it's Rice. They're neighbors right next door. They took it away from Houston so that Houston could play. This is rubbish. Anyway, Houston plays Illinois. The game is in Houston. You'd think they're going to have a home court advantage. I have to think they are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Jeez, come on.
It'd be the same thing as if they were playing at the Enterprise Center in St. Louis and SLU got in. You know what I mean?
It's the same thing.
Yeah, if SLU had beaten Michigan,
but,
it would have been wild.
But they didn't.
No, they didn't.
SLU got knocked out of it eventually, but they were assigned to Buffalo, New York. But this time, it's in Houston. I tell you, that's not the way these things should be. And that takes nothing away from the Cougars. They're a very good basketball team.
See what happens. I think I'm pretty sure Scott Myers is the one who picked them to win in our bracket challenge. We'll see. He's still at the top. I'm done, man.
They're good. They're a very good team.
I did not do a very good job this year at all. What about the women? When do they get back and play their championship?
Tomorrow night. Their Sweet 16 begins tomorrow. It's all done for television purposes. The men are Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. The women are Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. That allows them a little bit extra time on TV. So the number 1 team in the country, Connecticut, will play tomorrow afternoon at Central Time, and they're playing North Carolina and the Tar Heels from the Atlantic Coast Conference. That's Connecticut. All the other teams in the women's Sweet 16 are all where they should be. The number 1 seeds are all there. The top seeds are all there. And Mike, that brings up an interesting question, because in men's basketball, the talent level is much wider. Women, it is not. It is much more condensed to the big teams, and it just happens to be the way things are right now.
Yeah, but eventually I think it's going to be the same for the women like it is for the guys. Something else about the women I read yesterday, they were claiming young men are doing all the sports gambling. Now they're going after young women. Good luck with that. Have a great day, buddy.